to start recording.
So, Farhan, Jam, where I trained at Mount Sinai, I mean, it's a very high volume cath lab. And actually, the number of cases we did, hours talk about we like back almost like two and a half years of training in 1 year. So I had done like, I think more than, I want to say diagnostic cath almost did like a few thousands. And yeah,
Wow,
and the
few
interventions,
thousand.
I think the interventions were 700, 800. Yeah,
Wow, that's
intervention.
huge. Now, compare that time now to your clinical practice as an interventional cardiologist. Where is your volume now?
Yeah, and so volume इतना नहीं है that remember जिन लोगों के साथ मैंने train किया था, it was a big academic center.
Hmm.
So the interventions there were just did intervention. Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
The interventionist academic center में the interventional cardiologist, all he does is intervention. He doesn't do any general cardiology. So
Okay.
in my private practice, मैं तो general cardiology करता हूँ, do preventive cardiology. I manage patients for simple things like high blood pressure. Then we do like diagnostic imaging, echoes, and stress. So not as much volume. So I think if I do just interventions, come up with 200 interventions a year.
Wow. So you are also trained in nuclear medicine and intravascular ultrasounds, and another something that I read and I did not know about them called invasive physiologic assessments like FFR. Could you
FFR,
tell us a little
yes.
bit about it? What are those things?
So basically, uh, right now the field developed हुई थी in the beginning, it was all an angiogram. As you know, it's just an X-ray
Yeah.
with some contrast in it. So to further get a better picture, so there are several techniques we use in the cath lab. So one of them is like IVUS or intravascular ultrasound. There's other imaging technique, something called OCT, that's infrared. So basically put a probe inside the coronary artery and we can actually make exact measurements. And that gives us valuable information about plaque composition, whether something needs to be fixed or not, or we can leave it alone and just manage it medically. Last thing you asked was the physiological management, the FFR. That's actually measurement of the blood flow. And we're trying to get an idea for coronary flow reserve. Okay, coronary flow reserve, and that again tells me really what that tells me is whether I need to do an angioplasty or stent or I can leave the lesion alone.
Wow. I mean, these are really unique stuff that you are doing. So it covers a lot of my questions that I have. Like, how did you choose cardiology and what makes you a different cardiologist than other ones who have not trained in this intense environment? My next question is, tell me about your happiness level with this current job. Are you happy? Is this your dream job?
Um, it's definitely my dream's speciality.
Yeah.
So dream is being a cardiologist, interventional cardiology. I mean, even though in RMC I did not even know what an interventional cardiologist was, but
Yeah.
but definitely this. I mean, I do enjoy. I extremely enjoy what I'm doing, and frequently. I mean, last week, I mean, after my case, I was starting singing. My text like, "Why are you singing?"
Yeah. Let me ask you about your work situation. Your practice seems like a large cardiology practice, and you have multiple offices. So how
Yes.
is your week like? Cath versus
So
outpatient.
basically, you're right, it's a large practice, but I don't go to all the locations. I only have actually I have one main location and one secondary location. So
Okay.
at any given day, I stay at one place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Good.
it's not like
Not
not like
hectic running between the
oh no,
offices.
because we kind of like as a practice we kind of figured out that's not good for the doctor. You're wasting time just driving.
And are they attached to the hospital? So your cath labs are in the
So
same location?
yeah, so we try to have most, not all of them, the offices I go to, because especially me being an interventionalist, all my offices are located next to the hospital.
I have to ask you, someone told me that the shield that you guys wear for radiation exposure has its some cons of it? Maybe, I don't know, somebody said some arthritis or some other issues. What is that that you guys wear, and
So
what are
it's
the
could be
problems with it?
no. So basically, remember, lot. I mean, we have a lot of radiation exposure because
Is that
all.
right?
Yeah, because you can't do a cardiac catheterization or intervention without X-ray.
Mm.
So you have to protect yourself. So we have like aprons which are made out of lead.
Lead,
Yeah,
yeah.
lead aprons. Then I have radiation. I don't think I have one in my office up with the Khali Tali, but they have lead lined glasses. My panto with the cath lab.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so because if you get radiation आँख पे ज़्यादा है तो cataracts early onset हो जाता है.
Do you
So
get
so
you get yourself checked once a year for cataracts and stuff?
not once मुझे I have astigmatism. मैं contacts पहने हुए मैं भी ऐनक हूँ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So that's why. Okay.
I do get it checked, but they can with the lead, with the newer leads, they're light as long as they're fitted properly. You really should not have back problems, but I do hear a lot of people complaining of back problems because the lead is heavy.
Okay. So on a day-to-day basis, what challenges do you face? And maybe let's put it in that perspective of what makes you stronger, what keeps you going, and to do better every day.
That's a good. That's a good question. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, to be honest. I mean,
Hmm.
I think I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing right now. So it's not. I don't find it hard to work.
Because maybe your training was so
I
intense
think I
that
think
this
I think
is,
that exactly. So I was able to. So I mean, we are considered a very busy practice, but I was so well prepared to
yeah,
do. I was able to handle whatever prior practice threw
could
at me.
could ask you. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. And plus, it's something if you enjoy doing, it's not as hard. I mean, we talked about my research. Wali baat
yeah,
ki. Well, I mean, I was a full-time researcher. I mean, I found it honestly entering data, getting all the stuff in a computer. I found it very boring. So
yeah.
I mean, it was a very easy work. लेकिन
But it
मैं
was,
सुबह उठने को दिल नहीं करता था मेरा.
but not stimulating enough. Yeah.
ये तो yeah.
Let me ask you, I always wonder, what do cardiologists do? Because sometimes patients are so non-compliant with the instructions. So is it possible that a patient is lying in there and you've been telling him to watch his diet and you're like, Mr. Smith, didn't I tell you to stop eating that? Now I have to put this stent in you. Like, do you ever have to yell at
No,
them
no,
at
मुझे
that point?
नहीं नहीं मुझे गुस्सा आता है जब somebody does cook. You know, I mean, like I saw my main hospital is kind of the less affluent area. So we have a lot
Okay.
of people who use cocaine. Not a lot of people, certain people. So one of the side effects of using cocaine, people get MIs because of vasospasm.
Oh, wow.
वो
So you have
अगर
seen
आता है
it.
ना रात के टाइम या जिसके टाइम वो बहुत गुस्सा उस पे बहुत गुस्सा आता है कि
So
उल्लू कि
they
उल्लू के
can hear
पट्टे
you,
क्या कर
right?
रहे
Do you ever
हो.
yell at them because they can hear you?
I mean,
Uh,
I mean, like I've said harsh words at it. I've never yelled, but I've. So I mean, the other, and I have a funny story. I mean, like so I think it was like middle of the night or something, and this guy I think was partying with his friends and came with an MI. So मैं उसके पूछा, so मैंने पूछा, man, what were you guys? What I said, what happened? He goes like, oh doc, we were just celebrating. We had a
oh my
celebration. And
God.
what was the celebration?
Celebration.
I mean, like, I mean, and he said it such a मासूम तरीके से मुझे हंसी आनी शुरू हो गई. पर उस पे मुझे गुस्सा आता है जो कि वो इस किस्म के करके आते हैं.
So you mentioned cocaine. I remember I was an intern and I had a patient of cocaine exposure. I was next to Wall Street, and there were many executives who would do cocaine.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You
Yeah.
know, and he had MI, and I put him on a beta blocker,
Uh-huh.
thinking I'm doing the right thing, and then
Yeah.
they were yelling at me. I was like, "What happened?"
Oh yeah. Yeah, Farhan, but that's true. I mean, the whole alpha unopposed alpha blockade, right? But
Yeah.
that's a myth.
Is there
It's
myth?
not. No,
Okay.
there's no actually clinical study, or it has never actually
Oh,
happened to me. So मैं तो
I
डाल
have to
देता हूँ
go
beta
back
block
and tell the guy that you yelled at me for
for
nothing.
no reason.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I want to ask you about, you know, mashallah, God has gifted you with good work ethic and knowledge and strength. Um, what you feel you have the soft heart for? Who are the people that you really want to see um, that they are well taken care of, or we can help them more?
आपका
Share
मतलब
some of
आपका
you.
मतलब medically outside medicine?
Outside medicine.
Outside medicine. So Farhan को शायद पता नहीं, one of the refugee processing centers of United States, Atlanta में है, a place called Clarkston, and that's actually pretty close to my hospital. So recently, I mean, we all heard about Rohingya refugees.
Yeah, yeah.
So वो काफी आ रहे हैं, उनको उनको देख के काफी अफसोस होता है. So I
अफसोस
think
होता
the
है, yeah.
people, I mean, they have been treated very badly. So we
Hmm,
actually have
hmm.
Rohingya refugee population. The community tries to help them. They
Okay.
donate करें, उनके भी छोटे बच्चे हैं. They have families and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
They have to
it's
pay a
tough.
rent. So I think at least within myself locally, जिधर मैं हूँ, I think they are the people who are most deserving of
What
help
is
at this point.
good? Nice of you. And I know that as Muslims, we
Mm.
always think about helping Muslims, but I think the global um, burden of poverty and difficulties, sometimes we have to start looking past religion and see
Absolutely.
who is closest to me that I can help, I have access to. So that I'm glad you brought it up.
No,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely. Locally आप देखें, I mean, definitely. I mean, there are a few. I mean, I don't participate in it. लेकिन हमारे जो local masajid हैं, they run soup kitchens every Sunday को जाके करते
yeah,
हैं.
yeah,
They help
yeah.
people out.
That's good. That's good. Tell me a little bit about COVID-19 and this hydroxychloroquine QTC prolongations, and how did you guys deal with this?
Well, the short answer is I didn't deal with it,
Okay.
but I think it was a little bit overblown. And I
Yeah.
think that question. Let me ask you a question. You're a rheumatologist. That's your drug.
Yeah.
And
Bakhtiar,
how many
honest,
times have you had a complication of with a QTC prolongation with hydroxychloroquine in your
let me tell
clinical
you,
practice?
the day I woke up and I saw everybody talking about Placonel, I was like, okay, that's good. I'm gonna be an important. But then the whole question went to QDC, and I was like, I've never heard of this, never checked it. And I was like, okay, the cardiologist took the attention to themselves as
Again.
always.
But I think it was overblown. I think I actually do not have the data on me. I think probably the incidence of it is pretty low.
Yeah,
I would probably
we
I need
don't
to
check it. Yeah.
1-2% होगा.
Yeah. How was your hospital, or I should say your practice, operating during COVID-19, or now? Are you guys doing telemedicines? Procedures have been canceled. What's the situation on the ground?
So until recently, we were only doing urgent or emergent procedures. They can
Okay.
now for a month. First 2 weeks office बंद थे, लेकिन और telemedicine ज़्यादा हो रहा था. लेकिन again अब I think people, our office is becoming busy again. I think people are getting tired of being cooped up. So all my patients are showing up. They want to show up in person. So
Yeah.
office में जो मेरा 80%, but actually 90% is
Is full.
face to face, and
Oh,
maybe 10
really?
to 20% is telemedicine. Then again, even with a cardiologist, I have to auscultate the
Are you
lungs.
wearing the mask?
I'm wearing the mask. I have like
Yeah.
several
Yeah.
N95s. No,
Okay.
I think what the new normal will be, मुझे लग रहा है कि सारा साल भी all of us
We'll have to
wearing
wear that. Yeah, I agree
masks.
with
Yeah.
you. Okay, wonderful. Well, your journey is not only interesting but very inspiring to where
Thank
you
you.
are, and I think that we'll switch to our fun parts following this. Uh, I want to ask you one thing, that recently you went to Pakistan, and I know we have great cardiology centers in Pakistan where people offer things. Do you know what is not there in Pakistan right now that you think could help people there? Basically, the IV US ultrasound. Do they have it in Pakistan?
Actually, I was surprised they do. I actually
Oh,
went
really?
a few. Naveedullah Khan took me to. He and I went met a practicing cardiologist there at Ali Medical Center.
Interesting.
तो मैं
Oh,
नवी से
and
पूछा,
they
मैं
have it?
हाँ मैंने उससे पूछा, मैं नवी को सीन बताओ, कहता तो मिला देता हूँ. So he actually told me that they don't have impellers and balloon pump, but he said we have FFR, we have IVUS, we'll be able to use
Nice.
all that.
Sometimes I feel happy about hearing
Yeah,
those stories about
yeah,
Pakistan. Okay.
yeah. So
All
they do
right.
have
Thank
it.
you, Bakhtiar. We'll start our next session in a couple of seconds. Okay.
Fantastic.
Hello, Bakhtiar. Okay, let's get into some interesting stuff. Tell me about Hotlanta. I have a lot of questions about Hotlanta, and how long you've been in Atlanta now for?
Atlanta. Actually, I got a job right after my fellowship. I'm going up to my 7th year now with the same practice. So, alhamdulillah. So things are going
Mashallah, very
well.
good. So, do you find it a fun city? I mean, they have a good basketball team, and
Then
they
there's a
have
terrible basketball team.
they okay. Their team is not good.
Oh,
There is
they never won a
a couple of
championship in
years
their
ago,
history.
wasn't there? Good. Couple of
They
years
actually,
ago.
I think they got to the playoffs, but they didn't win
Yeah, my
anything.
because I remember my kids. I was in Atlanta for some reason, and they took me to Models or other store, and they wanted to
Yeah,
buy a T-shirt of one of the
yeah,
guys. And
yeah.
I was like, I've never heard Atlanta's team, and they said this year they were doing good. So,
No, that was that 1 year.
but and I saw in one of your pictures you were at a baseball game.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
is that a
The
good team there?
Braves.
The Braves, is that good?
Braves is a good. They're a good team. They're a good team.
Okay, so what is your kids like sports that they like to follow mostly?
So I have like one son. He's 9.
Uh-huh.
So betiyan choti hain. My daughter's 5, and I have a 3-year-old. So they're too small.
Okay.
My son, he's like he follows baseball. He's like but I mean because of what his friends do.
Yeah.
But he's more into I think video games and all this stuff.
Yeah. Well,
And
it
he
will change
plays
with
a lot
time.
of soccer
Yeah.
though.
Huh? Soccer?
So he plays a lot of soccer.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Um, Let me ask you, I've noticed that you play sometimes tennis or golf. How long you've been playing this stuff?
Okay, so tennis तो actually काफी अरसे से नहीं खेला. I took some tennis lessons when I came. I played a little bit.
Okay.
Golf is actually interesting story. Started at good old Rawalpindi Medical College.
Okay.
So
Tell us about it.
so basically it was I think it was final prof, and it was the last vibe of the final prof. So if you remember Ifti, our friend,
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Ifti. Yeah,
So if you know Ifti का बड़ा भाई plays a lot of golf. So Ifti मुझे कहता बख्तियार चल जाके golf खेलते हैं. So
अच्छा.
he took me to Pindi Club. तो कहता तुम्हें तो खेलना नहीं आता तो ये बस the smallest club जो golf में था it's called a 9 iron.
Okay.
So मुझे कहता so he just gave me that one small club कहता ये बस पकड़ तू इस पे shot तू मेरे you just
Marda
follow.
shot. Oh, yeah.
So we just like he started playing. He was having a full game. So मैंने जाके मारे तो एक तो शॉटें बड़ी अच्छी लगी. And
Natural talent, huh?
but that means that I have never been good at sports.
And this came natural to you.
मुझे लगा कि natural
I can
to you है.
see, your hand catheterizations and golf. Yeah, they
नहीं
have
मुझे
some.
नहीं मुझे लगा मैं कि यार ये तो maybe this is one sport that I'm good at. So when I came here तो मैंने फिर lessons लिए काफी practice किए, but of course that thing was long. I'm a terrible golf player. लेकिन वो उसके साथ but I do enjoy the game a lot. So जब मुझे time मिलता है I go and play.
Do you ever go and watch a game of golf? Because I see what the people are doing there when they go and watch these Masters and all those games. Have you ever attended a game?
नहीं मैं थोड़ा सा I mean I watch highlights, but ever since I've had kids मुझसे टीवी देखा नहीं जाता. I
Yeah.
kind of feel like मैंने घंटा डेढ़ किस चीज में जाया कर दिया.
Let me
Because
tell you, my wife, I told her one time, like it's about 5, 6 years ago, my kids were younger, right? So I told her that I want to start golf. She said, yeah, 5 days you work. And the days that you are home, you want to go and play golf so that I take care of your kids all week long. No, that's not happening. So
so that
they got shut.
no मुझे भी यही मिलता है पर मेरा तभी मेरा गेम नहीं अच्छी होती है ना मैं जाने नहीं देती.
Yeah. You
कहते
तो समझाना चाहिए.
क्या बच्चों को छोड़ के तुम जा रहे हो खेलने क्रिकेट. So
I thought I was the only one poor
नहीं
guy
हम
that
सबके साथ होता है.
okay.
Waiting for my kids to थोड़े से बड़े हो जाएं ताकि फिर मैं जा सकूं regularly.
Yeah, one good thing is that I was hoping my wife will tell that one of my sons he needs to play golf, take him to golf, so then I would get to do it, but that
No,
didn't happen.
नहीं अपने जो बड़े बेटे को golf lessons करा के ले जाओ साथ. That's my
Yeah.
मशवरा.
I would try. He's in basketball, so
Okay.
I saw you have maybe in the past or recently because of COVID. Have you been cooking and baking at home? I saw some baked products.
Bread,
Freshly
bread.
baked. Yeah, bread.
No,
What was that?
that is pre-COVID. So
Okay.
I mean, so I don't know, Farhan. Now that we are actually more and more getting educated about food,
Yeah.
you realize in United States they add refined sugar to every single food product at the grocery aisle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So हर चीज में चीनी डाली होती है. मैं कही you know what, I couldn't find a bread जिसमें चीनी ना हो, ये बहुत कम चीनी हो.
Interesting.
मैंने कहा, you know what, let me just bake my own bread.
So you started from the scratch?
Yeah, started from scratch. So bake. I mean,
Interesting.
that
They
was
looked
just
they looked pretty good.
तस्वीर आपने देखी हो second attempt
You know what? If
है.
you ever think of starting a bakery by a cardiologist, we'll make millions.
Yeah,
Let's think about that.
but a good hook though, right?
Yeah.
Bakery by a cardiologist.
Yeah, it's gonna be like we'll be selling franchises.
Yeah.
Okay. You went to Pakistan and you
पिछले
caught up
साल.
with some of the friends. How was that like about?
That
Tell
was
me.
fantastic. I wanted to caught up with more friends, लेकिन मेरा मसला है कि मैं I could only take 2 weeks off, और आप पता है पाकिस्तान में जो obligatory होते हैं बच्चे बीमार हो जाते हैं.
Of course, yeah.
So that happened. So I didn't get the chance to call सारे friends के साथ. I met my high school friends, ICB के नवीदुल्लाह खान के साथ hang out किया. फिर मैंने Usama is my mom's endocrinologist. Again, Usama, if you're watching, thank you so much.
Oh,
You
nice.
don't know how much I appreciate you taking care of my mom. Like I went and met Usama. I think
Oh, that's so
Salman
nice.
Jafar was not available when I went there. लेकिन
I saw
I
some
wanted to meet
pictures. They
Usama.
looked really nice. Yeah, with Naveedullah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
have to say that that was nice. Now, do you have a big social circle in Atlanta?
oh yeah, pretty. It's a large Muslim community. It's a large Pakistan. I mean, the even the Pakistani community itself is so big. I don't have to go outside that community. इतने
Yeah.
सारे families हैं, इतने सारे लोग हैं. अल्लाह का शुक्र है माशाल्लाह.
Well, one thing I've noticed, and I'm really proud of you guys when I watch any updates on it. You know, when Pakistani festivities like Eid and everything come up, and I see a family picture of yours with Alia and your three beautiful kids, mashallah. You guys really dress up so elegantly that I can be proud of showing it to my Gora friends, and that look, this is Pakistani dress looks like. What is
Right.
the logic behind that? Why do you put in that much effort?
Oh no, so actually like we do. You're absolutely right. We celebrate our culture a lot. We celebrate our religion a lot in our household,
Very nice.
and that's part of that. And I want so we make a big deal out of things like Eid, even
Yeah,
14 August and Ramzan, and that's why we make sure we dress up, Eid ke naye kapde hoon, and we make sure there's a party arranged where the iftars arranged and
mashallah.
go to all that, so that our kids feel that they belong to this culture and they're very comfortable under the skin,
Yeah.
and not saying कि यार कि हमारा you
I
know how
wouldn't be
they.
surprised if there is a local magazine of Atlanta and they post your family's picture, like, mashallah, that this is how Pakistanis dress in style and
Right.
celebrate their festivities and their culture. I'm very proud of you because,
Thank you so much.
be honest with you, I lack in those activities. I don't have a lot of Pakistanis around me, a lot of Indians, and it's my Eids and everything is not as well planned. So when I saw that, I was like, I have to tell her, whether it's Alia's time or your time, or you both do it together, keep
Yeah.
doing it. We're really proud of you
Thank
when
you
I
so
see it.
much. Thank you.
Your life as a married man, seems like it's a good life, and your wedding anniversary is coming up because I did some investigative work on Facebook. So
You're right.
what are you guys? What anniversary is this, and when are you guys planning? What are you planning to do?
Okay. मैं नंबर नहीं कहूंगा, गलत बोल दिया तो बेगम नाराज हो जाएंगी.
Yeah.
It's 10 plus. I think
Okay.
10 साल के बाद कौन गिनता
Yeah,
है?
it's hard.
So yeah, so I think so our last few anniversaries have been low key क्योंकि सारे रमजान में आए थे
Yeah.
last few years.
Oh,
So
that's true. Yeah. Ramadan. Okay.
so normally so this time I mean typically do the typical dinner and whatever to fancy restaurant
Yeah.
after
Okay.
after time. I don't know कि इस दफा आप क्या करें क्योंकि अब तो रेस्टोरेंट्स भी बंद हैं
Yeah.
COVID-19 की वजह से.
Maybe.
So I mean I have a plan. Maybe I think maybe just घर में कोई I make
You
dinner for my
surprise.
wife and
Yeah.
surprise her something.
Good. Yeah. They need that because they work
Yeah.
hard.
Absolutely.
Pakistan, अगर पाकिस्तान में होते और इतने बड़े cardiologist की बेगम होती, she would hardly touch anything, right?
Oh no, yeah.
Here they have to do everything. So let me ask you, do you guys travel? Is that something common in your family, and where are your favorite spots to enjoy your vacation?
Oh, we love to travel. We love to travel. We try to have a nice trip at least once a year. मेरे बच्चों को बहुत शौक है जाने का.
Interesting.
So they and actually surprisingly do very well with long flights.
Yeah, छोटे
So
बच्चे हैं, yeah, no,
हाँ छोटे ना, I was surprised. So but उनको बड़ा enjoy करते हैं. सारे enjoy करते हैं बड़ा. I mean वो तो बच्चों को जो खच जो normally होती है.
yeah.
They
But
do have
where
a
is
good
a
time.
place where you would go any time of the day? You get a pass.
Oh, hands down Istanbul. मैं पाकिस्तान के बाहर की बात कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah.
Istanbul, old Sultan Ahmed, the old city, fantastic and fabulous. I would recommend it highly.
So let me ask you, I've been thinking about it, but I could not tell if it would be fun for the kids. What is your experience based on that?
यार यार मेरे जो बच्चियां थी छोटी थी. So
Okay.
my son was 8 years old when we went. He really enjoyed it. I mean क्योंकि जब हम ठहरे जो आपका जो मेन सुल्तान अहमद स्क्वायर है, so there's like a fort there, Masjid Sultan Ahmed. There's the Hagia Sophia, which is a 1,000 years old church, which is now converted to a museum.
Museum, yeah.
I mean, my son really, I mean, he liked it so much that जब अमेरिका से वापस आए, kids playing that game Minecraft. On Minecraft, he made a replica of one of the Blue Mosque.
Wow.
He said I got inspired by that.
That's impressive. Yeah, it's on my list. Okay. I think Navidullah also mentioned.
Yes, he did. He
yeah,
did. Absolutely.
So I was thinking.
उसने mention किया, मैं कहा तो मेरा था.
Yeah. Okay. Good. What about share a silly moment? Something that you did was like kind of you look back and you laugh at it, especially if your wife tells you if you are trying to be too smart in front of her.
Well, I have a lot of silly or embarrassing moments at work. And again, as I remember, I told you my intervention training was like basically a desi mahol tha, Dr.
Okay.
Sharma ke saath. और Dr. Sharma के interesting was the Urdu. I mean, he was an Indian guy, but he was from North India.
Yeah.
His Urdu is better than my Urdu.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's an interesting fact about him. I actually enjoyed it. Like he would muhawaron wali Urdu bolte the wo.
Achha.
He's a very interesting guy. So basically, I used to go dance. So जब मैं शुरू में ट्रेनिंग की कोई डांटें बहुत पड़ती थी, तो मैंने कहा मैं डांटेंगे मैं बस यस सर कहूँगा. डांटते रहे काम ही डांटते हैं. So then मैं वही जैसे I was doing my strategy during the case, वो डांटना शुरू हो गए कि ये क्या कर, what are you doing this, what is this. मैं कहा yes sir. You got to keep saying yes sir or show some improvement. I think it was on to me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now you are at this stage that your kids can actually have fun with you and also with your wife. They can like kind of divide.
Absolutely.
So what makes you a cool dad? I mean, I've seen some of the pictures, the kids having good time with you. What is your time of fun with them?
I mean, I don't think I'm a cool dad, to be honest. I think I'm an uncle. Complete transition has been complete. I'm 45, so I won't try to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I said traveling is a big part of what
yeah.
The family.
Catching up with the kids, right? Yeah, and having fun with them.
And the kids, they love going out. They like fries. What usually आप भी करते होंगे, going out for ice cream and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And हमने बैडमिंटन रखा हुआ पीछे, तो son को बैडमिंटन खेलने का, we just kind of like play around the backyard.
What is the place? My kids, they like to enjoy going to water parks and stuff like that. So in Atlanta, is there a place that you guys like to go, or somebody comes and visits? Where do you guys take them to?
Okay, so actually the Atlanta, have you been to Atlanta, Farhan?
Yeah.
Achha, downtown. So downtown, there are several things, especially, I mean, your kids, I think, are older than mine. Yeah. So
my kids are like 14 is the oldest. So he went to one of the high. You have a football Hall of Fame.
Yes, college football.
College football.
So maybe his age, that would be good. That would be a good one. But this, of course, the CNN Center is a tourist attraction downtown.
Yeah.
There's something called the Georgia Aquarium. It's fantastic. Especially, I think I think
I've seen it. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that's good.
So that's a really good place to visit. I would recommend at least downtown. Zoo to har jagah hi hote hain. For us, I think Florida is driving distance.
So
So
how
we
far
want
are
to.
you from your families now? I know Ijaz was there for a little bit, but then he moved out, and now you are by yourself in Atlanta.
हाँ यार वो शुरू में वैसा one of the reasons मैं अटलांटा आया था मैंने ट्रेनिंग खत्म की मैंने कहा you know what let me go to a city where at least मेरे रिश्तेदार जो हैं driving because I always put a lot of important I mean I didn't always put it I realized जब मैं अमेरिका आया that I was by myself training कि you know family is important you want to be able to drive ड्राइविंग
Yeah,
डिस्टेंस में आपकी
yeah,
फैमिली मेम्बर इमीडिएट होना चाहिए तो एजाज वाज इन नॉर्थ कैरोलिना 4 घंटे की ड्राइव थी माय मामू वाज इन अटलांटा मैं कहा चलो थोड़ा सा फैमिली हो गई तो मैं उस वजह से आया था लेकिन 1.5 साल बाद एजाज अपने चला गया फीनिक्स फीनिक्स चला गया मामू भी अभी 2 साल पहले मूव हो गए हैं सो अगेन आई एम बाय माई सेल्फ
you're by yourself. All right. Well, I hope you get to meet them on occasions of happiness and stay well.
एब्सोल्युटली
Bakhtiar, it's been a pleasure catching up with you. Stay in touch, and we will all enjoy watching these clips and laughing together. Okay.
ओके
All
थैंक यू
right.
सो मच थैंक यू फरहान